What's up, everybody? I'm with Plato, and welcome to the show. I'm bringing you a story from Screen Rant. The Office reboot is in the works, original US showrunner returning. I love The Office. I'll just say that right off the bat. I'm sure many people who watch me do. Many people who don't watch me probably love the show as well. I'm not sure if anybody wants a reboot of The Office, though. There are 9 seasons of it. What more story do you have to tell in Dunder Mifflin? What else is there to say? Now, they do have the original US showrunner, Greg Daniels, coming back, which is pretty cool, but they're going to be using a different cast and characters for this show. I don't know if they're going to be using the other people. It's been like 20 years since the show started. It's been a while. And the thing about reboots is, these days, it's really difficult, for me at least, and probably others, to approach these shows in good faith, considering what Hollywood has done to old franchises that they've rebooted, aka Star Wars. Not only did they fail to reboot Star Wars, it was a complete disaster. Those 3 films were trash. And now not only have they rebooted the original trilogy of Star Wars, they're now currently in the process of rebooting the prequel series with Ahsoka. Dave Filoni is doing his handiwork in that show, and it's just a boring show that I've fallen asleep to several times. It's hard to even think about reviewing a show, and I rarely make Star Wars content as it is, but oh my goodness, that show is just... He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Kevin Smith ruined it. Charlie's Angels reboot, Elizabeth Banks ruined it. Every time there is a reboot, it seems like Hollywood just wants to remake them for the sole purpose of bringing in a new audience, okay, a modern audience, by changing the story, by changing the characters to match some kind of weird woke message that nobody wants. And that is the kind of feeling that I'm getting right now. Let's take a look at this so we can get a little bit more context. The Office reboot is reportedly in the works, with the original American showrunner attached to return, of course. Even before the seminal workplace sitcom wrapped up its run in 2013, there were questions about whether the show would ever be revived. But despite occasional rumblings and positive statements from the cast and crew, no project has been officially announced. Now, with the writers' strike tentatively coming to an end, there's reportedly major news on the way. According to a Puck newsletter by veteran entertainment journalist Matt Belloni, a reboot of The Office is in the works, with US series adapter Greg Daniels set to return. The news about the reboot came in the context of mentioning all the projects and deals that are going to be announced once the writer's strike officially ends. But there's no word yet on casting. Yeah, what the Office cast and crew have said about a reboot, let's check that out. Since the conclusion of the series, there have often been questions about a reboot of The Office, whether the cast would participate and what the story would be. These questions have been touched on by executives at NBC and those more directly involved with the show. For his part, Daniels has been both optimistic and pessimistic about the prospect of reviving the series. At times, Daniels has struck a hopeful tone, even elaborating on how he might approach a reboot, explaining that it would be set in the same overall universe, but not necessarily feature the same characters. However, some of the Office cast members, including John Krasinski and Mindy Kaling, have expressed they'd be open to revisiting their famous roles if the circumstances were right. Well, I would be on board for Jim coming back. I would not be on board for Mindy Kaling coming back. I think that she is a terrible writer, and I think that she got lucky with The Office, but ever since Velma came out, my respect for her has completely plummeted, and I don't even know if I had that much respect for her to begin with. I mean, I didn't really have an opinion. I liked her all right in The Office, although sometimes I found her character to be annoying. I understand that she wrote some episodes. I found out more about that while reviewing Velma. But now that she might be coming back, I just... like... The thing about reboots is I'm just tired of reboots. I'm tired of them rebooting these established franchises. I'm just sick of it. And now that the strikes are over, it just feels like all of this time and money was wasted so that all of these trash writers could come back, take old shows that everybody loves, and then bring them back, write them haphazardly, and ruin them with woke messaging that nobody asked for. And that's exactly what I'm expecting with The Office. It's just, this is what happens when you push so much woke nonsense over so many years, that whenever something like this pops up, everyone's skeptical. Nobody can get really excited because no one's sure what kind of show you're trying to make. What's even worse is that there are 9 seasons of this show, so people are wondering, what kind of story are you trying to tell us when everybody's story arcs were completed? Because I'll tell you, right here and now, there's never going to be another Dwight Schrute, okay? There's never going to be another Jim Halpert. There's never going to be anyone that comes close to those characters, okay? Or Michael Scott, there's just no way. BJ Novak, a writer, producer, and director on the show, in addition to his on-screen role as Ryan Howard, has expressed reluctance when it comes to a revival, stressing that any revival of The Office would have to be approached as an artistic decision rather than one that's taken purely for the potential financial gain. I agree with BJ Novak on that one. I 100% agree. Artistic, but also not political, not social. That's the problem. I understand that The Office tackled certain social issues. It tackled pop culture in different ways, funny ways, but social messaging is just not what we need. It's not. And if you're going to make an Office reboot like that, I'm telling you, it's going to be a disaster right off the bat. And when you've got Masters of the Universe being ruined, Star Wars being ruined, we're about to get an MCU soft reboot that they're talking about with making these new movies that have none of the old Avengers. It seems like now that these writer strikes are over, disasters can continue and Hollywood can continue its decline into complete depravity. Honestly, I'm sort of here for it, but I'm not here for the reboots. I want something new. I want something fresh and exciting. All right? I love Greg Daniels, okay? But I feel like he fell off a little bit when he made the Space Force show. Okay, that was a pretty political show. It seemed to trash the right a little bit. The writing is just not as good as it was in The Office when Greg Daniels was doing that show. But only time will tell for this show. Only time will tell. But I hope you guys like this video. If you haven't had the chance, hit that like button or share this video with your friends. That would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider becoming a subscriber so that you're up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Later! Meow, meow.